Hello, everybody. My name is Noah, and today we're going to be continuing to look at a scenario where civilization starts over. Now, in my last episode, let's see, we've done a good amount of stuff. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 countries in total. So I mean, it's pretty nice. We've done a good amount of stuff. You have the capitals. I added a few more things. As you could see, there's like a few changes. I kind of changed up some of the borders, I guess. I have a ethnicity map as well. This is it so far, but that'll be more important later. Um, I also have major cities. There, I didn't add, I mean, there's kind of too many for as early as we are. I mean, not really. No, I think we have a good amount. I think this is a fine, pretty dandy amount. Pretty good. Oh yeah, capital, keep that on. I think we'll turn on major cities for when, like, we kind of have to deal with more wars and stuff. I think that's just kind of important to have on there. Government I have not implemented yet, but I have put this here. We have oligarchy, monarchy. These other four will only come in later, but for now we're gonna have like oligarchies, monarchies. When when democracy starts becoming a thing, I'll definitely have that implemented. Oh, I have to like make like a normal democracy. I just realized. Sorry if you're cracking with my knuckles. But I have to make a normal democracy as well. All right, that'll just be blue or something. But yeah. So we have government. Don't forget, we also have our where is it? Where is it? Military alliance. There it is. Yeah. So these guys are officially in a military alliance. So let's get started. So we're gonna start over here. Not much has happened with Oman. We'll kind of let them explore a little more. Maybe go out a little bit. You don't want it to be too close to the shore because it kind of feels like claustrophobic, kind of suffocating a little bit, honestly. Well, honestly, we'll just have them get rid of this. So we'll have them discover Yemen over here. And also, I think this is where Djibouti is. So they'll be going up into a lot of Yemen, into like I think it's called Hejaz, this kind of like the Islamic Holy Land area. Yeah, so the Arabian Desert's kind of just, it's just it hasn't been discovered yet because they don't have a reason to kind of go through here. Like up here, they'll come through, just so it's easier, it's quicker. But other than that, they don't really have a reason to go fully in there yet. We'll have more land over here being discovered, kind of along this African coast. I'm not sure what this area is called, but I'm sure it has a name. Kind of like I don't know. I forgot which country is here. I think it's Sudan, I believe. So, with that, we will see expanding from the blue team. How interesting, we don't usually see that from them. We're gonna have them kind of move in over here. They're getting a little bigger. I guess they've probably made more of an army by now, because I feel like they definitely know what happens when you don't do that. This happens. But yeah, you can see they're kind of going in the desert a bit more. They're kind of moving down the coastline. With that though, there will be a break-off group right over here in Yemen. We will see this kind of. This is not a nice color, but we need a color. This is like a barf green color. This is Yemen. We'll just call it Yemen. Um, and yeah, they're small, not crazy significant, but I mean, doesn't mean that they're not, you know, I don't know. I feel like I'm talking too much about this country. There's not much going on with it. That's basically the basics of it. There's not much going on. We'll put their capital right here along the coast. Very nice. We're gonna see Egypt move a bit more into this kind of area into Libya, or at least modern day Libya. Take this. So now they're definitely, I would say, on a scale of strength, because strength is kind of hard to really like. It's not that hard. I think like at least at this period, it's not like a for sure thing. We'll kind of have them come out a bit more over here. I think the strongest country is obviously, I would say, Oman. Oman is definitely the strongest country. Followed up by, in second place would be Egypt, most likely. I think in third place we probably have like Iran. So they'll move a little more over here, or Libyan areas before they kind of are gonna slow down a bit. But yeah, no. So they're making they're a bit long. I will admit they're kind of overreaching a bit. They're kind of doing what their forefathers did. But who knows? Maybe it'll work for them. Now, over in Europe, we will have a lot of settlers. Well, not really settlers, just explorers in general. They'll kind of they'll go more up in the Balkans. They'll kind of explore, continue exploring until they get more into the Dalmatia kind of Western Balkan area before they. Sorry if you heard that. There was like a little notification sound. But yeah, they'll kind of break up more in here. Discover kind of like the Hungarian. I think this is where like the Hungarian plain would be. So they're getting a good amount of stuff. I mean, this is kind of easy to discover. It's kind of bland, kind of prairie, I guess. That's the best way to put it. But they will discover a bit of the Italian peninsula. So they'll kind of go in here. Obviously, you have right here. You have like the Alps, so they won't go too far into that. But they're discovering. I'll tell you that. So yeah, we'll have them kind of. They'll discover this part of the Mediterranean, these islands. But other than that, I think this is basically the most they'll get. We'll go more over here. I keep saying, they'll get this, and then I start giving them more. But I mean, I think this is a understandable amount. I think this works. So with that though, we will see a new nation form from the blue team. It will be a bunch of, I guess, I didn't mean to. Why am I going for that one? I guess it'll be a bunch of like settlers who want to create their own nation, I suppose. Boom, right there. It'll be a little Venice nation. And they'll kind of go into Dalmatia a bit. They're pretty well placed, I will admit. They have a good placement here over here in Italy. They won't be bothered by anyone. They're a bit far. Yeah, they're a bit far from everybody. But hey, I mean, good for them, I guess. We will give them a capital right here. Yeah, that's good. So they'll be like a little maritime empire. They'll probably trade with a lot of like the Byzantines. We'll call them like the Byzantines. I think was that the name I already had for them? I'm not really sure. But yeah, the Byzantines. Speaking of the Byzantines, we will have them kind of go a little more into the Greek areas, Europe, also into Anatolia a little bit, or modern Turkey. Let them take this island. I'm not actually sure what that island is called. But yeah, you can see them kind of going in a bit more. Taking a few islands as they go. So yeah, they kind of dominate the Adriatic as of now. They're definitely pretty rich. Maybe not like military wise, they're probably not that powerful, but they're pretty rich. We're gonna see some more of these Venetians. They're gonna be just continuing to go into the Italian peninsula, just basically getting all of it. Not basically, they're gonna get all of it. They're gonna discover a good amount of Sicily, all of Sicily. I always say good amount. I don't know why. I don't know why I keep doing that. But yeah, they'll be finding this part of the Mesopotamian Mediterranean Sea, including Malta. So that's a big chunk we just kind of shaved off there. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. The Pontics will definitely they'll take the rest of Crimea. That's very nice of them. You know, they're getting a nice just Black Sea nation over here. They're pretty well off as of now. They'll go more into Anatolia before meeting with the Byzantines. I don't they don't really have much aggression towards each other. I'm sure are they related? Hold on. Yeah, they're related. So I guess they speak a similar language. They won't be too mad with each other. We'll have the blue team as well take more of Inner Anatolia. They're kind of more coastal, but they'll definitely still get in there a bit. Not too crazy though. Just kind of, you know, I think it's good. When it comes to the Qatari, they haven't done all that much. You know, that I guess we'll have them kind of come out a bit more over here, kind of strengthen this. But yeah, no, they don't have like they can't yeah, they can't really get away with much anymore, knowing that they're kind of fraudish at this point. I mean, they're not frauds, but they lost hard, is what I'm trying to say here. They lost pretty hard. So, unfortunately for them, they're not going to be doing much. They're just going to be, buffing up a bit more, which is, nice for them, but, Over here in this kind of Persian region, we are going to see a new formation of a country. I guess it's kind of like a lot of Mesopotamians, some Persians as well. They kind of just didn't like, I guess, where their country was going. So they will officially make their own kind of northern Iranian country. Right there, yeah. With that though, we will also see the Caspians move up, the Caspian. They'll kind of come out here a bit more. And then they'll go around this little. This is like a gulf? Is this a gulf? I think this is a gulf. Not sure. Also, kind of make sure that the purple team doesn't really cut them off or anything. They'll also, take the Azerbaijani plain. I think it's a plain. I'm not sure. Plains area. With that, though, we're going to see something. I said that really weird. We're going to say something. We're going to say something very, very interesting. So these Caspians, despite being like more, they're kind of centered around the Caspian Sea. They seem to have a, liking towards this. Oh, sorry about that. Seem to have a liking towards this, Eurasian steppe over here. And interestingly, we will see a group of them. Let's say a couple thousand, just migrants from the Caspian nation. They will actually go out into this area into the kind of Central Asian plains, and they will form their own states. We will see the formation of four states, four new, like, not like, I hate when I say like, four entirely new, like, oh my god, we're gonna see four entirely new Asian steppe nations. Four, wow, very impressive. This one They are known as the Radu tribe. Very, very nice. Yes, we will have countries with names in this. Some countries will have names. This is the Radu tribe. They're just kind of like a giant tribe for now. Almost forgot to give you a capital. We'll put it right here. Let's move to Iran right here. Or at least we'll call this Eastern Iran or Tan Iran. They will be kind of stopping their other counterpart from going up anymore. They have officially, no, they're getting big. They're getting definitely a lot bigger than they were before. Sorry about that. Look at that. Wow. Very, very nice. We'll have the Omani come all the way down here. With that, though, Oh, let me just get this. The Omani will actually set up a colony in the Indian subcontinent, in modern day India, right there. So they have some groups coming back and forth between these two, and they have settlers coming in, and yeah, this is pretty big for them. At least they're getting something. Sorry if you hear noise. I'm kind of moving my mic around a bit, but it's better than any expanding over here. There's essentially nothing. That being said, we'll kind of have them in here a bit. Yeah, there you go. That's good. But yeah, they now have an Indian colony. The Byzantines will get more of the Anatolian coastline before meeting up. They'll get Rhodes, get more of the Aegean, but they will now have a border with the Lebanese. That's what they're called. But yeah, they'll go a lot more. They'll discover this entire peninsula. I believe this is a peninsula, not an island, because I'm pretty sure right here it's very small, but they are connected as far as I know. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. So they're coming more and more into Greece here. That being said, though, they will now actually have to come in more contact with these guys. And speaking of these guys, they will go more and more into Italy. They'll meet up, or no, sorry, they'll go into more of this fertile ground, kind of where Milan is, and they'll kind of come up here a bit more. Come down, or Dalmatia. So I'd say, no, they're getting pretty big. Let me check who the biggest country is right now. Where is it? Lasso. Is it? I think it's the Egyptians. So I can officially see how many pixels it is. So this is about 14,500. Oh, wow. The Egyptians are significantly larger. Wow. Okay, the Iranians are definitely up there. Okay, I think the Iranians are oh. Yeah, I definitely think the Iranians are the biggest. But a lot of this is useless land. I would say the Egyptians are no, the Egyptians are by far the largest, other than the Iranians. Um, but yeah, I would say right now, I think the Egyptians have officially surpassed the red team or the Qatari. I think they're definitely way farther up than they were before. So yeah, we'll see the Egyptians. They're getting up there in terms of strength here. That being said, we will see more discoveries in Europe with Corsica and Sardinia being discovered by the Venetians, and with Tunisia, or at least modern Tunisia, being discovered by the Egyptians. The steppe people will go more and more. I gave this country the name Radu, or like the Radu tribe. I think they're all kind of Radu people. These guys, but this is like the largest, most expansive one by size. They will discover Lake Baikal. I think that's what it's called. Baikal, like that. They're going to be going across the steppe a bit more, for kind of stopping. Very good, very good. So yeah, the world, we're getting a lot more in here. We're getting a good amount of stuff. All right, that being said, I definitely think it's kind of crazy how like not much is happening in Europe. I kind of think that's kind of stupid. So what I'm going to do is we are going to have the Venetians discover more to Europe. So they're really going on a discovery here. With that being said, though, the Venetians will actually, they'll discover a bit more because now that they have all this land, there are. I mean, I'd say there's like maybe tribes here, but like other than that, there really is not much going on. They'll get into like this Catalonia area. They'll get Corsica. Let me kind of go up here a bit more. They'll get Corsica, more of the Italian peninsula coming into this heel. It's like a heel looking thing. Before they meet with the Byzantines. Yeah, I should really call them like a Roman group now. They're growing. They're getting big. Definitely. Over here, we're going to see this kind of Aquitaine. I believe it's Aquitaine, something like that. It's like a small tribe. They'll form right here, meeting up with the Venetians. Now, Venetians do not like this. This makes them very, very angry. So what will they do? What will they do? What do the Romans and honestly the Venetians do best throughout history? War! They love, love, love war. Absolutely love it. So that's what they're going to do to this small, poor country right here. Doesn't even have a capital yet. How sad. The Venetians will push into Aquitaine, coming into this area over here before going up the coastline. I guess a lot of these people probably live in the coast. Some of them also live in the middle, so, they'll take all of that, unfortunately for them. But yeah, they will pretty much absolutely crush these poor, poor Aquitanians, or I don't know what to call them. And they will fully annex them. Unfortunately for them, they will fully annex them. So these guys they've become pretty powerful. Pretty powerful. They're definitely overextending a bit. The purple country right here, I want to call them Azerbaijan because they're kind of in the Azeri regions, like where the Azerbaijani people of Iran live in Iran. So I'll just call it Azerbaijan, even though Azerbaijan is taken by Caspians. They'll come more into, actual where, like, Azerbaijan, Armenia are. They're gonna go up these mountains, cleanse lake, or at least part of it, for meeting up with the Pontics. So unfortunately for them, they're kind of getting sandwiched. A lot of this land, everybody's getting in on this land, you see. It's getting tense over here. Let me just make these borders look a little more natural, I think. It's probably a good idea. So we will actually see this entire area finally be filled out by these nations. That's that's good for them. They've officially, we're gonna see Lebanon and Pontic nation. They're going to kinda encapsulate this area. We'll have the Byzantines come up here a bit. So yeah, the whole Mesopotamian Anatolian region, these mountains, they have been. Sorry if there's any noise in the background. Let me turn my notifications off in case you guys can hear it. But yeah, we have seen humongous expansion. That looks so much better now that they're connected. These guys, they have a pretty interesting bumpy border here. But yeah, this is very nice for them. We will see the Egyptians come into Tunisia and actually colonize it. They really do not care, it seems. Like they really they're really coming in here. They're showing everybody that they're large and in charge. They're not a weak force. I would definitely say that by far they are the strongest nation on earth right now. They have shown to be very capable. With that, though, we will see them come up to Malta and then Sicily, colonizing it and taking it for themselves. Interesting. I can almost envision something. In reaction to the encroaching threat of the Egyptians, the Venetians will take the rest of. Sorry if you hear any barking. That might be my dog. Sorry, I don't know what any of you guys are hearing because I can't see the audio thing here. But yeah, no, the Venetians will continue on into the Italian peninsula before retaking the entirety of it. They'll also attempt to come into Sardinia before their troops are met with those of the Egyptians. Now, they are definitely recognizing that the Egyptians are a threat. The Egyptians are just they don't care. They're like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? You have nothing. It's not that they have nothing. They probably are pretty powerful, these guys. But the Egyptians, as we know, are significantly larger. Let's put on sun. Yeah, they're almost 20,000 pixels. So they are absolutely massive. The Venetians, on the other hand, are about 10,000. So these Egyptians are nearly double the size of the Venetians and probably nearly double the manpower. Responding to the Venetian encroaching on their promised lands. This was promised to the Egyptians 3,000 years ago. They will actually begin an incursion and crush every single Venetian here. They will be absolutely demolished by the Egyptians. I suppose they didn't see it coming, or they just weren't ready. Maybe they saw it coming, but they just weren't ready. With that, they will also begin to encroach upon this kind of the toe area of the Italian boot. The Venetians will react with fear, with obvious fear, because this is the largest, maybe not the largest, but definitely the most powerful. Technically, not the largest, but I would say they're the largest in population. Everything, they just have larger pixels because they're fat and chunky. But this is the largest population, most powerful, most rich. They are extremely powerful. Not to mention, do not forget, they also have an ally, a military alliance over here with Lebanon. So these guys will definitely not like the Egyptian threat that is very, 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 obviously a threat. So what will they do? What will they do? Well, unfortunately for the Venetians, they are kind of going crazy right now. They really do not know what to do with the Egyptians just absolutely plowing through their cities. I guess they're not. The Egyptians probably aren't killing the people, but they're doing kind of crazy things. Not before long, though. The Venetians will actually begin to retake the areas. Probably, they're bringing some men down into Corsica and then Sardinia. But they will actually, they're going to show the Egyptians that they're not ready to be messed with. They should probably focus on the mainland, but I mean, at least they got something. Taking the rest of this heel, the Egyptians will just ravage through. They're probably destroying a bit of stuff. They're probably not mass murdering, but it doesn't really make it right. They'll break up back into here, but these Venetians right here, they will continue to keep the stronghold. It's kind of grim for these poor Venetians, or at least it seems that way. Not before long, the Venetians will invent a new strategy, the phalanx, which the Egyptians have not seen before. They are absolutely confused and horrified. It's a lot of spears, I mean, it's crazy. That's pretty cray. With this new phalanx formation, they will actually begin to break through the Egyptian forces before meeting up with this. I'm actually not sure what this region is called, but they will get the heel back entirely and continue to press onto the Egyptians. Back over in Sardinia, on the other hand, yeah, all the Venetians here have died. I guess they didn't get the phalanx, but they are all dead here. At least the military men, all the soldiers are absolutely destroyed. With that, the Egyptians will also do a naval invasion into Corsica. Unfortunately for them, that will fail. But, at least they tried. Back over in the boot, the Venetians really are absolutely crushing the Egyptians. They have officially pushed them all the way into this area right here. I would say they've probably given up on um, you know, poor old Sardinia. But they are pushing back into the boot of Italy. Not only will they push back all of their former territories, they'll bring it all back, they will also begin to crush into Sicily. Oh my god, how did I? That took me so long to remember. I am so sorry. But yes, they will begin to hammer in to Sicily. It's gruesome. It's pretty gruesome. With this pretty impressive counterattack, the Egyptians will offer a peace deal officially because I guess they've definitely overextended their army. Army's getting tired. Remember, there are not that many people. Like there's probably, I mean, no, there's probably a lot of people, but overall they've overextended their army. So they will offer a peace deal. Let's look at it. The peace deal will look a little something like this, as you can see. The Egyptians have fully, I mean, obviously the Venetians have accepted this peace deal. But as I was saying, the Egyptians have fully annexed Sardinia. They kind of kept on, they kind of kept a bit of their Sardinian land, but the Venetians have agreed, or at least have been granted in this peace deal, a large, probably 2/3, maybe 3/4 of Sardinia, which, the Egyptians are very pissed about. They're not happy at all. But yeah, no, Sicily is probably a lot more, at least at this point, valuable than Sardinia. Sardinia is pretty far from, I mean, it's not that far, but you get what I mean. For the time, it's pretty far. But this is definitely a lot more useful than Sardinia. So they agree. They agree to put this into action. The Egyptians, I want to bring this up, are a bit frustrated with the Lebanese for the absolute lack of any aid. It just I mean they could have given them a few men. Obviously, it would be stupid for the Lebanese to try to go over here, but they could have at least tried or something. But they didn't, and because of that, this this alliance will unfortunately very quickly dissolve. It barely lasted for an episode. Actually, did not last for an entire episode. How sad. So there are no military alliances so far. Very, very nice. That's a good sign for Lebanon. Although they are not weak. I want to bring that up. It's not like they're weak. They wouldn't let Egypt punk them. I mean, they didn't. They didn't just. Then again, what was the point of that? So, yeah, that was stupid. Lebanon, you shouldn't have agreed upon a military alliance with Egypt if you weren't going to do anything. The Egyptian government will very angrily start taking more and more land. I guess this is just their way of dealing with the fact that they had to give up a lot of Sicily over here, and also the fact that their teammate was extremely useless. But they will continue into this area over here for stopping because yeah, they gotta chill out. I think they've kind of figured out they kind of have to chill a bit because they aren't all that as they have learned in this war. More land will continue to be discovered. You have the Bay of Biscay being found, more of it at least. A lot of Iberia, modern Spain. So the Mediterranean, we'll have more of North Africa. We're kind of Stopping over here. But yeah, more of Iberia will be discovered. A lot of these are probably just like nomads from Egypt, coming up maybe into Iberia a bit. I'd say most of the Iberian discoverers are the Venetians who are just kind of coming up over here. So yeah, all of Iberia has been discovered. We'll have this come out a bit because I mean it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter if it's that close to the shoreline because it's not like there's anything out here as of now. Wait, what? Why did I say as of now? As if like islands will appear. Oh, actually, I don't know. Maybe in Wixo there's islands and new continents that appear. So who knows? Maybe we will go that far. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe if this gains enough traction. The Venetians will go more into the Iberian Peninsula, taking this kind of Aragon area. Meeting up over here. Wow, they're getting. Look at that. Look at that. That's impressive. We'll also have them come up in France a bit. There you go. That's nice. Very, very nice. That being said, though, not everything is sunshine and rainbows, Venice. We will see a new nation. They will be named Almeridia, created by my friend John. I actually did not plan on having Almeridia here so quick. But yeah, they will be kind of like, I guess, some Venetians who wanted to start their own colony. Maybe also some Egyptians came in here. But I would say that they're definitely like, no, I'd say they're definitely some Venetians who kind of started their own nation over here. More of Biscay, and I think this is called Brittany or Brittany. I actually forgot, honestly. I forgot if it's Brittany or Brittany. They will officially go more and more into France over here. Discover like the Rhine, which I think is like here. I'll find these Dutch, Belgian regions. And that's looking nice for them, it's good. That's good. That being said, though, a few people who have, I guess, lived here for a while will make their way into these kind of Polish German regions over here. We will see the foundation of a new, I guess, sort of Germanic state. We'll call them. We'll just call them Germany for now because I have plans for them and it's going to be very important. So this is kind of like a new German nation. They will take. Well, I guess they're less German, more Dutch. So I'll kind of be like a Dutch German kind of people over here. And they will create a pretty sizable nation pretty quickly. Let's actually check how big are the Venetians, speaking of size. They are 13,000. The Egyptians are, yeah, about 20,000 now. Wow. The Egyptians are big. Oh wow. Oh my god, they're bigger than the Iranians. Yeah, they are officially bigger. And that's not including their territorial claims. How big? Oh, they're over 20,000 now. Wow, very very nice. Good for them. Well, actually no, not good for them. They're kind of assholes. The Byzantines are 5,000's not bad. Nice. Pontics are about 1,000. Over here in this Central Asia region, we will actually see the Radu, like the main Radu tribes, break in and absolutely just fold this kind of tan Radu tribe. They are, yeah, they will kind of surround the capital with a lot of like probably horsemen with bows, like cavalry, before absolutely demolishing them. Very, very sad for them. The Radu will fully annex them. Very, very nice. Oh, capitals! I don't think. Oh, I didn't give them capitals. Okay, I need to give these guys capitals. So they have officially completely annexed them. Sorry, I had to fix the capitals. I have to add I'll probably do that off cam. That's what I did last time with the major cities. But yeah, I added the capitals to these two, the Germans and the Almeridians, and also the Yemeni. Y- Yemeni. I think that's the demonym. Not sure. I hope I'm right. That being said, though, speaking of Yemen, they will come up more over here, kind of growing their nation a good size over here. Taking this little island, because why not? They'll also take a little bit of Djibouti. I think that's the country there. The Omani will put more effort, not effort, I suppose, but just will kind of go more into their colony in India over here. Their colony is starting to get pretty sizable, which is not good for the Yemen people. Let's actually check. Are these guys bigger? That's 4,000. They're almost exactly 4,000, and these guys are 3,000. So they're definitely not as big, but you know they're getting there. I mean that's 3/4 of their size. That is a very big colony for this time. This is not. I'd say we're in like the. I'd say I'd say 300 BC around there. I'm not sure. I actually no, I would not say 300. Maybe a little after. I'm not sure. You know, we're just rolling. I'll probably specify the times later on, but for now we're just rolling. The Venetians it's starting to like kind of get hard to call them the Venetians at this point. They have really become humongous, but the Venetians will kind of come over here a bit. Fill that. Boom! Look at that. That is a very sizable chunk that they have just taken. We will also have them come more into the Alps over here. I mean, I really don't think it matters that much anymore with the Alps. I think we can just kind of discover that fully. So yes, the Venetians, yeah, they are definitely sizable. Wow. They're a bit lopsided, I will admit. There's a lot over here and not much over here. I'm surprised I haven't done much with the Balkans yet. Anywho, let's move a bit over here. Or rather, actually a bit over here. Over here in China, we will actually see some I guess maybe Radu, but also any other like steppe people or whatever they want to identify with, whatever terminology or ethnic group. But they will actually explore into China a good bit. They will actually come over here, explore northern China, Manchuria. Well, actually, no, Manchuria is like kind of here. But, they're going to go into Korea, discover that, go along, I don't know what the Korean river's called over here, but I think it's one. I think it's just one river that does that. Maybe two. I don't know, man. But yeah, they're going to discover these people. They're going to discover China. Or at least, most of China, at least northern China. We will see the establishment of three major East Asian countries. This kind of teal nation, and mostly just China. And then we have the Kingdom of Roar, or maybe not kingdom, but you know, it's going to be called Roar. This is Roar, made by my friend Rodrigo. And right here, this is kind of like a Korean nation. Sorry about that. My computer is not plugged in. But yeah, right here we have Roar's capital. We have Teal China's capital. We'll just call them North China. We have North China's capital. We have Korea's capital right there. So yeah, they've set up their own kind of nation over here. We're starting to fill up the map a lot. A lot has changed since the last episode. We have not seen expansion like this. Almeridia will be expanding a bit. We'll kind of have them. Yeah, that's not a bit. That's a lot. We'll have them definitely come in a bit more over here. Fill that in. Boom, nice. Good for them, right? Yeah. Oh, the Egyptians. Ever so expansionist. Just keep going. Keep going. That definitely won't stab you in the back. You definitely aren't doing exactly what Qatar did. Anywho, Egypt will come into Gibraltar. Oh, I can't say that word. I'm so mad that I can't say Gibraltar. Is that how you say it? Gibraltar. Gibraltar Strait. This is Gibraltar right here. Gibraltar Strait. To Strait. Entrance to the Mediterranean. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. They will come to the Atlas Mountains over here. And the Almeridians will see this, and they will, it kind of sucks for them because they have humongous empire and humongous empire right at their doorsteps. Actually, you know what? I'll make it a little worse for them too. We'll have the Venetians right there. They'll be actually sharing a border with the Venetians now. Oh, how amazing. That's absolutely wonderful for these poor Almeridians. Also have the Venetians take the Balears, I think they're called. I'm not sure. I forgot. I'm stupid. But yeah, they'll kind of come in more a bit. They're really encroaching. Both of them. Both of them are absolutely encroaching on the poor Almeridians. Seeing how they don't really have much of a chance of getting more without angering these two massive empires, the Almeridians will actually explore. The Almeridians will actually explore to sort of maybe discover a new land. Hint, hint, they will not be discovering the New World this early. That's stupid. But they will discover this little island here, or these few islands. I'm actually not sure what they're called. And obviously, we have the Canaries. Do not remember your name. God damn it. That's all right. But they will discover these islands, and they will, in fact, take them. This will definitely cement them as a sort of, sorry about that. God damn it! What? Oh my god. But yeah, they will discover this little island. And, let me make sure I'm on the right layer. Oh my god. And they will take these islands. It's not much, but it's something. Uh-oh. Civil War! How Byzantine! The Civil War will begin in Crete with its full exit. And these sort of, I guess, rebels, they will come into this, area of Greece. And they will actually pretty easily crush through because I guess these guys just weren't ready. Taking advantage of the very poor timing, the Lebanese will actually break into a lot of Byzantine areas over here. Uh-oh, that's not good. The rebels will take the rest of this entire area before finally coming into this kind of Athens area. They will take a bit of it before they will be met with the, I guess not might, but they'll be met with the forces of the Byzantines. The Byzantines will crush these revolts. They will absolutely murder everyone. Let's take this little island before kind of coming over here and immediately crushing in. Not taking any, like, too many coastal regions, but they will absolutely hammer in before taking those coastal regions. And this entire area taken, including these islands. Not this one, though. They will also attempt to take back their coastal regions, and they will succeed. In their success, they will actually begin to go into Lebanese land pretty easily, actually, mind you. Yeah, this is probably not a good idea on the Lebanese part. Yeah, no, that's definitely not a good idea. The Byzantines will begin to encircle this these forces of, oh yeah, they've usually encircle them. They will encircle these Lebanese before they, yeah, basically just crush all of the Lebanese over here. The Byzantines will continue on capturing this lake. I think this whole region's like Cappadocia, whatever it is. It will continue. The Lebanese are definitely realizing their mistake here. They will actually call for the help of the Egyptians. In response, the Egyptians will begin their own invasion of poor Lebanon. How sad. Oh, man. Even the Pontics will join in on this, like, ferocious gangbang of the Lebanese. The Lebanese will surrender. Obviously, they cannot deal with this. This is absolutely insane. So yeah, let's look at that let's look at the surrender. Poor Lebanon. Oh my god. Yeah, no, this is very sad. So, as you can see in this peace deal, cool. Oh my god. This is like this is really sad. The Egyptians will take this land, the Pontics will take this land, and finally, the Byzantines will take this land. At least they still exist, right? I mean, at least they have Cyprus. They're really, they're really looking like Lebanon in real life. Maybe a little pushed up. I think Lebanon's like over here more so, but they're about the same size. On a better note, though, these guys, well, they'll get their independence and their little island that they really wanted. So, good for them. Anywho, we need to make time for real countries, like this Germany country, who will now meet up with the Venetians. Uh, very immediately, they do not like the Venetians. They're foreigners who are encroaching upon pretty close to German land. I mean, close enough that they're touching. So that's not good. That's not good for the Germans. The Venetians, on the other hand, do not care. They will continue to encroach. In fact, coming a bit into modern day like Switzerland areas. They'll probably come a bit more into the Alps, I would say. But other than that, they'll be kind of coming over here a bit. I want to mention this whole area is not really. This is mostly just German settlers who are originally here. So this is not really ethnically Venetian. This is very not German. Well, I guess it's like a different group, similar to the Germans, but they're not that similar to the Venetians. Although over here, there's probably a lot of Venetian settlers and stuff like under here, over here, blah blah blah. But yeah, they have a good amount. How big are you guys now? You guys are wait, let's put on this. You guys are about 23,000. Interesting. You guys are 24. Impressive. Okay, so they're getting about the same size. I would honestly say that the Egyptians are still more powerful. They are probably still pretty mad about this, I'm not gonna lie. The Pontics are about 11,000. That's solid. It's nice. They are 8,000. The Byzantines. 470. Wow. Omani, 10,000. You are still about 20,000. Overall, there have been a few tensions between two pretty powerful countries. And I'm not talking about these two, although this one is involved. These two countries are the Egyptians, of course, and the Qatari. I'm sure the Qatari are not happy about their loss probably 100 or 200 years ago, probably more than that. Oh, probably way more than that, never mind. But they're probably not happy about their loss that they had. So they're about to do something. They will make military incursions in these areas, immediately just demolishing any military here. The Egyptians are pretty quickly going to hear about this, and they will respond. Their response will be absolutely flattened. Yeah, we will see a pretty bad crush here. They will officially have this entire area under their control, or at least occupied now. Adorably, Lebanese will attempt to do something. Um, yeah, the Egyptian military will absolutely crush these groups. Yeah, the Lebanese probably should have stayed out of this. They will begin to actually envelop the entirety of Lebanon, its capital nearly taken. But with that, what they really should be focusing on are these guys, the Qatari, who are still absolutely demolishing. Oh, sorry about that. Who are still absolutely demolishing these groups here. The Egyptians will actually call for the help of the Pontics, who will actually respond, unlike the Lebanese those many years ago, who were actually literally in a military alliance. Wow. They don't have an obligation, but they will help because they understand the threat of the Mesopotamians. Not the Mesopotamians, the Qatari. Jesus Christ. So they will actually aid the Egyptians coming over here. This even lets them actually go into the Mesopotamian land a bit. I guess the Pontics are just something the Qatari. Did I say Mesopotamia again? The Qatari. I guess the Qatari don't really know the Pontics that well. That's how they fight. But yeah, they'll break in there. One country though. I wonder which one will actually join on the side of the Qatari. There's actually a country that I said was not involved with this originally, but they will actually be involved now. The Venetians will absolutely demolish the rest of the Egyptian claims over here in Sicily. Because remember, a lot of the Egyptians are now focused over here, which is not great because now it forces all the guys over here right here. Not great for them. They will invade into Sardinia before they will take the entire thing very quickly. They will take Malta before eventually making a naval invasion of this little harbor in Tunisia. Uh-oh. Not looking good for this part of the Egyptian lands. I'm not gonna lie, it's not looking very good. The Qatari will make one last major crush over here. Definitely, they will free a lot of these regions of Lebanon before the Egyptians will actually finally start to, get the hang of this. Now they've really started to make claim to these poor. Oh wait, no, I'm stupid. They're just reclaiming their land. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this. Remember that. But yeah, they will officially just start reclaiming their land before finally actually meeting up with this Qatari area over here. They will begin invading into the Qatari Mesopotamian regions, like the Mesopotamian regions of Qatar. Pontics included in this invasion. Interestingly, we will actually see a country that has stayed neutral for a while join in on this. The Iranians will actually come over here and take these Mesopotamian regions. This was very unexpected. They've stayed pretty docile for a long time until just now. And they will absolutely pummel all the Qataris here, just under absolute, utter ambush. Another country will be joining the fray against Qatar. How great. How great for Qatar. Hope you're having a fun time over there. The blue team are seeking revenge after probably hundreds and hundreds of years. They will now seek revenge after the first recorded war in history, or at least the one that we covered. They will rush over here. That's a big thing about the Qatari. They don't expect anything, apparently. They are not planning for anything other than, well, the obvious, I guess, with the Egyptians. But yeah, no, they really don't plan for anything, I guess. But they will take this Horn area. Remember, this is Qatar's regions from the first episode. And it's probably been hundreds of years by now. I think for the first few episodes, we're going to definitely go a bit quicker with the time. But, when we get closer to the medieval modern ages, I think we're probably getting close to early medieval soon. But yeah, these guys, they are really hammering in. This is a humongous war. I'm going to be honest. This is officially the biggest war in history so far. But the blue team, they're going ham. They're absolutely just neutering, really. They're neutering the Qatari. Luckily, the Qatari will actually be able to hold defense right here. Yeah, there we go. They'll be able to hold defense over here. But yeah, on the Qatari side, though, finally, they get a breather. The Venetians will continue their sort of just stride into the Egyptians' land, taking over most of their Tunisian claim. The Venetians, now fully cutting off this area, they will attempt to take more before this entire area actually will become kind of like these guys. They'll actually break off real quick. Yeah, we will see these guys become their own new country. So, yeah, good for them, I guess. The Egyptians now lost a humongous chunk of their empire, but at least it's not all going to these guys. Back over here though, yeah, it's ugly. They have officially retaken all their land. Oh wait, was it? Yes, was this their land? Yes, this was their land. Wait, why am I coloring it with? It doesn't matter. But yes, they will officially now begin to absolutely just crush every single one of the forces of the Qatari. Even the Azari, who have historically basically done nothing of significance, will begin to invade their own portion of the Qatari. Oh, poor Qatari. Officially, they will surrender. As you can see, it was grim. It was very grim. They will also end this whole skirmish over here. So, the peace deal will look a little something like this. But before we get to this one over here, we'll focus on this one. The Venetians officially take a very, very humongous chunk. The Egyptians could not be damned. They really don't care enough over here. This is definitely a lot more valuable, this land, and I guess they just want to put more of a focus on this. But yeah, officially the Venetians, yeah, they take a good chunk of the Egyptians' lands. But for the Egyptians, they will take a very large chunk, about a half of the contiguous part of the Lebanese nation. I don't know why they just don't annex them. Maybe they just have a liking to them. Maybe they just feel bad. They used to be pretty big like that. But anywho, they will also be taking all of that. That is just a big juicy chunk. That is beautiful. Good for them. The Pontics will actually take this little region over here. The Azari, they will take this region. Good for them. Well, at least they get something. And the Persians, who did a good amount of the work, they did a lot. They took a lot. This is a lot of core infrastructure over here. They will take all of that. So they, yeah, they're really, yeah, they're getting powerful. I'd say they're definitely they're up there. I'm surprised their capital's still on this little island. I think it's kind of nice that they have a little nod to that. And for the beautiful, beautiful, underrated blue team, they will take, boom, all of that. They will regain their ancestral lands and more. Let's get this. Boom. Yeah, there we go. Oh my god, I'm really looking at it now. The Qatari. Oh my god. Oh no, dude. Jesus Christ. Yeah, they have been. Yeah, all. Oh, they're probably really poor now. Anywho, let's give these guys a capital. Oh, oh, boom, right there. That's good. So yeah, they're kind of close to the Almeridians, but yeah, no, overall, wow, I am still pretty astonished on how much the Qatari lost. That is really sad. Wow, I almost feel bad. I cannot feel that bad for them though. It's not like they were good guys. I mean, nobody's a good guy in this, but you get what I mean. Anywho, the Omani, sorry, I did the wrong layer there. They will continue to create more of a colony over here. I'm gonna go inland a bit here. Yeah, boom. Yeah, they're a pretty sizable colony now. Let's go on the exploration a bit. I think we should definitely explore a bit more. I think that definitely makes sense. So yeah, more and more of the Indian subcontinent will be discovered. We'll have more of these lands, these islands over here. Not sure what they're called. I know these are the Maldives, but yeah, we'll have let's kind of come down over here, discover Sri Lanka. More of North Africa will be revealed, most likely from guys up here, kind of just coming down the Atlas Mountain area into the Sahara. You know, haven't discovered the Canaries yet, but this is nice. Very nice. We'll have them themselves, they will actually expand a bit. I think we'll just call them Morocco. This is kind of in the Morocco area. But yeah, we'll kind of have them like that. That's good. Boom. Yeah. Very, very nice. Over in Iberia, the Almeridians will claim this land for themselves. Nice, nice. That being said, though, these guys will claim the rest of Iberia. They claimed it pretty quickly because, I mean, it's pretty barren, just kind of mountains in Iberia. But yeah, the Venetians and the Almeridians do not have good relations. Definitely not. They do not like each other. Uh-oh, new issue. There's a civil war in the German country, and they will pretty much just let this happen. I mean, they're more of a tribal confederation, less of a actual nation. Uh, so kind of sucks for them. This new kind of Belgian country will look a little something like this. We'll have them get this land over here. So pink Belgium. This little Belgian area. Oh, let's give them their capital real quick. These guys will actually, they'll be a little bit more of a seafaring group, and they will officially discover Britain. At least, yeah, just Britain, southern Britain. Kind of like the London area, I suppose. Along with a bit of Cornwall, and this, whatever island this is. So yeah, we'll be discovering that a bit. We'll push up into Denmark with the Germans. A little bit more into like this Pomerania, I think. This is where Pomerania is. But we'll have Pomerania form up here instead because I wasn't liking that. I really hated that. So yeah, we'll have Pomerania. Sorry, let me move that a bit. Let's get this area discovered. Boom, boom, boom. We'll discover a bit of like Königsberg or Kaliningrad, Russia. Oh, there we go. The Venetians, they're getting a bit hungry for some expansion. They're definitely a bit of an expander nation, I will tell you. They see this new Germanic nation. This new Belgian nation. What could we possibly do here? I just get that a little bit. There you go. Very nice. What are we gonna do here? Well, I'll tell you what they're gonna do. They're gonna invade them, and pretty horribly too. They're going to kill a lot of people, immediately taking the capital, destroying the capital, and yeah, no, this entire nation will immediately surrender. Very sad for them, but very nice for the Venetians. They will fully, like I said, they will fully annex all of this nation. They are, they are big. They are really big. We'll have them expand a bit over here in kind of this Illyrian area, Bosnia, Montenegro, a lot of this Balkan region, former Yugoslavia, a lot of Albania over here. Yeah, they're getting chunky. They're getting really chunky. They're looking a lot like the Romans. The Byzantines will see this. And yes, I'm aware the Byzantines are Romans. It's just names. But Byzantines will see this and they will crawl up a bit. Definitely not trying to say anything here, but they'll actually meet up with this colony or I wouldn't even call it a colony. It's pretty much just completely part of the Pontic nation. They will actually reach up a bit and try to cover the Venetians from their overall expansion. Yeah, the Almeridians are growing more and more frustrated with the power of the Venetians. They're really not big fans of these guys, and I cannot see this ending well very soon. This rivalry between each other. With this very, very mutual anger between a lot of the people with this nation here, they will actually form an alliance, a few nations. We will see an alliance between the Almeridians, the Moroccans, and again, the Egyptians. They really, really hate the Venetians. They really seriously dislike them to a point that is not even describable. They hate these guys. I'm sure the Germans would have joined on this alliance if they had like direct good contact, but they really don't, so they will not be joining. But yeah, no, overall, the Venetians will, yeah, they really are pissing off these guys over here. It definitely won't cause any major issues. Definitely not. Those lack of issues will be another military alliance forming. We will see the Triangle Alliance form between the Venetians, the Byzantines, and finally the Lebanese. Ever so irrelevant. So yeah, we see that there is a bit of a polarization in the Mediterranean. You have the southern Mediterranean nations along with Almeridia, which is, southern Europe, so I guess it kind of counts southern. And we also have the northern kind of alliance, the Northern Mediterranean Alliance. Yeah, that's definitely a bit of a polarization. And this is kind of like a NATO thing. If one of them gets attacked, everyone attacks with them. I'd say both of these alliances are like that with each other. So yeah, that's not a good sign. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely not a very good sign. With that though, I think I will actually end the video here. I have been filming for I think 2 hours, dude. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, I think here is just a good place to end. We have a lot that has changed. And yeah, I think overall, I really like how this series is coming out. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, please subscribe, if you have any suggestions, if you want to make your own country, and it really, it fits with like what I have going on so far, I will try my best to implement it some way. So yeah, please, leave in the comments what's your favorite country so far. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, please subscribe. I will try to be pumping out more of these Wixo videos. And yeah, overall, I'm really glad you came and you watched until you came to watch and you watched until now. Thank you so much. It's probably going to be a really long video and it's probably going to take really long to edit. It's currently um the 20th of February at 7:26 Eastern Time. But but yeah. Thank you so much for watching. It means a lot to me. Please leave a comment, please leave a suggestion. I will see you soon. Thank you so much.